Hello again, everyone. Todd Solondz here at the inaugural Atlantic City Celebrity Convention. It's the second day of the con, Saturday afternoon. I am having a great time. I have talked to so many cool people. And speaking of cool people, I am standing here with Brendan Sexton III. Brendan, how are you?
Good. Thank you, Todd.
Good. Are you having a good time this weekend?
I am having a good time. This is my first ever convention of this sort.
Really?
So, yeah, it's a novel experience for me.
Excellent. So what do you think so far?
I'm having a good time. I'm meeting great people. It's actually nice to meet so-called fans and, you know, people who grew up watching my work. So
cool. Yeah. So-called fans. No, I'm messing with you.
I didn't want to call them fanatics, but like people, yeah. Just,
no, I get it.
I met really nice people, like some whose work meant a lot to them, and so that was really touching. And I didn't know what to expect going into this, and I've been pleasantly surprised.
That's good to hear.
Yeah,
that's good to hear. I myself am just, I'm just a fan, who then gets to do some cool stuff, like talk to the people whose work I enjoy. You know, my whole life. I'm a big horror, sci-fi guy.
Nice.
So I watch a ton of movies. So it's actually really cool.
Yeah.
So, is this your first time in Atlantic City?
Not the first time in Atlantic City. First time in Atlantic City as a responsible adult. I've been to Atlantic City as an irresponsible adult, but
I admire that. I myself am an irresponsible adult, so it's good stuff.
Yeah. It's first time, long time. I can say that. Yeah.
So, Brendan, you have a long career. You've been in a lot of projects. Do you have a personal favorite of the projects you've worked on?
I have favorites, different kinds of favorites. Some are my favorite for the work I put into it. Some are my favorite because of the relationships I made. Some I just got to be in a really cool location, like got to fly to a different country. Some films I get to work in these little towns in the middle of Nevada or New Jersey, so I have all different kinds of favorites for different reasons.
That's a good answer.
Yeah, it's a diplomatic answer, but it's actually legitimate.
It's like asking people who's your favorite child.
Yeah. It's totally what it is, though. It's like,
we just got photobombed again by Fallon. So
she did that on purpose, didn't she?
Totally. She's messing with me all weekend.
Okay.
I'll let her get away with it.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna say anything, but
it's all good, man.
Good.
What was the most challenging shoot you were ever on?
One of the most challenging, for sure, was Boys Don't Cry. I found that to be very emotionally challenging, and I broke down and cried during filming it, and didn't think I could keep shooting it. It was very unpleasant in that regard, but very rewarding as an actor to make that film.
Cool.
Yeah.
So when Brendan Sexton goes to the movies, what kind of movies do you enjoy going to see?
I like all kinds of stuff. I grew up a teenage snob in New York City, so I was really into French cinema. But,
avant-garde indie films at the Angelica.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like it's not a good movie unless the 6 train is rumbling underneath. I
love it.
But grew up like watching kung fu flicks and stuff like that too. So I don't know. I like all kinds of stuff. I'm mostly going to see movies with my lady.
Okay.
And so she's a true crime podcaster, so she's always dealing with really heavy subjects. So if we're watching something on television or we're watching something at the movies, it's got to be a little escapist, Can't be too heavy. And I get it. I'm all about the gut punch. Like, those are movies I do. That's what I get hired to do. That's what I like to watch. But she's more like, no, we gotta do an escape. She's a horror buff.
Nice.
And so, like, every October we'll watch 31 horror films and that kind of thing. So I like it all, but I like a good popcorn movie. I like escapist. Like, the last installment of the Scream franchise was amazing. So all that stuff.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm a horror. Horror is my first love, but I'm just a film buff. At heart. So give me a good comedy, drama, a good documentary. I'm in.
Give me a moving image and some popcorn. and let me shut up and watch.
Yeah.
And take my money. I'm all about it.
And I just want to be entertained at the movies.
Yeah.
Like too many times, like friends of mine who do movie reviews or podcasts or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, does anybody just enjoy the movies anymore?
Yeah.
Or are they just rushing to go to social media to bitch about the movie that they just saw? You know what I mean?
I'm going for an experience. So give me a gut punch. Have me feel something. I want to be ecstatic. I want to be miserable. I want to laugh hysterically. I want to cry hysterically. I want something in that range. If you give me one of those, I'm all for it.
Awesome.
I don't care what it is. I'm about it.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. One last question for you, and I like asking this because I'm always fascinated by the different answers that I get.
Yeah.
If there was one piece of advice you could give to someone who wants to be an actor up and coming in the business, what piece of advice would you give?
I mean, of course, the thing is don't do it. But besides learn how to sling drinks, I would say, like, it really is connections and who you know. And most of the films I make now with friends, people I know, or people I've worked with previously, like prior colleagues, and those are the most fun for me, honestly. And like, I've been doing this so long, like, I only want to make movies now if I'm having a good time.
Good,
like,
man.
And,
I hear you.
And so now I'm almost exclusively making films with friends, and I'm having a blast doing it. So make lots of friends, have them be creative, remember people's names, call them 2 months later, ask them out for a drink, and hopefully 3 years after that you make a movie.
Good stuff, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Brendan, thank you so much for a few minutes of your time.
Yeah, of course.
I truly appreciate it. I meant it when I said I'm a fan who gets to do cool stuff, like talk to actors and actresses that I have admired. So
that's awesome.
Thanks again for your time.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
Brendan Sexton III, everybody, here at the first ever Atlantic City Celebrity Convention. This is Todd Solondz, the Horror Nerd, signing off. We will see all of you in the next interview.